Question 424. What is adultery? Is divorce the appropriate response?
Adultery is committed when two people, at least one of whom is married to someone else, have sexual relations. Adultery is the fundamental betrayal of love, the violation of a covenant that was made in God's sight, and an injustice to one's neighbor. Jesus himself explicitly declared the indissolubility of marriage. What therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder. Mark chapter 10, verse 9. Citing the original will of the Creator, Jesus abolished the toleration of divorce in the Old Covenant. The encouraging promise of this message of Jesus is, as children of your heavenly Father, you are capable of lifelong love. Nevertheless, it is not easy to remain faithful to one's spouse for a lifetime. That means we must not condemn people whose marriages fail. With that in mind, why does the church have such a strong stance on adultery and divorce? Remember, marriage is considered a visible show of God's love. When Christians who commit adultery and irresponsibly bring about divorce, they incur guilt because it is considered a sin against God's love, as well as a sin against the abandoned spouse and against the abandoned children. Now, what if a marriage has become unbearable? Of course, the faithful partner in that particular marriage can move out of shared living accommodations without needing to commit adultery. In some serious circumstances, it may be necessary to go through a civil divorce. In well-founded cases, the church can examine the validity of the marriage in an annulment proceeding. Remember, we talked about the 4 elements of a marriage? If any of these elements are excluded at the time of a marriage on purpose by at least one of the spouses, then it can be grounds for an annulment.
Question 425. What does the church have against marriage without the certificate?
For Catholics, there is no marriage without a church wedding. In that ceremony, Christ enters into a covenant with the husband and the wife and generously endows the couple with graces and gifts. Older individuals sometimes think they should advise young people to avoid going through ceremonies with vows. In their opinion, a marriage is just an impulsive attempt to combine incomes, perspectives, and good intentions, while at the same time publicly making promises that cannot be kept. What a cynical way to view marriage. A Christian marriage is not a game, however, but rather the greatest gift God has devised for a man and a woman who love each other. God Himself unites them at a depth that man could not achieve. Remember, Jesus Christ said, "Apart from me, you can do nothing." John chapter 15, verse 5. He is present in a lasting way in the sacrament of matrimony and is the love in the love of the spouses. His strength is still there, even when the strength of the lovers seems to dry up. That is why the sacrament of matrimony is not just a piece of paper, and why the Church is against marriage without the certificate. Think about it this way. The sacrament of matrimony is like a divine and seaworthy vessel that the loving couple can board. A ship that the bride and groom know carries enough fuel to bring them, with God's help, to their longed-for destination, heaven. Whereas today many people say that there is nothing wrong with uncommitted premarital sex or extramarital relations. Which is against the sacrament of matrimony. That is why the Church invites us to resist this societal pressure clearly and forcefully.
Hi, I'm Katie Locus. This is my sign name. I'm from the Archdiocese of Kansas City in Kansas. Thank you so much for watching our video this week. Hope to see you again next week. Bye!